Bam! Live stream has begun. All right, so I was looking at the Epic Marketplace, and I came across this thing that's free right now, and it is a sword and shield from first person. Let me show it to you. It's free for the month. It's one of those ones, and here it is. So it's just a template for being able to have a sword and that kind of stuff for almost like a fantasy game. So I don't know if it'll work for our video, but I had this idea where maybe we could have like lightsabers and stuff because I loaded our project from last time. Here's where we're at. Take a look at our project, and it looks great. You know, here these guys are coming at me, and I can shoot them and knock them down. No sound effects yet. We got to get on our sound effect game for sure. And that kind of thing. But I'm like, well, since it's Star Wars, wouldn't it be better to have a lightsaber, you think? Like, it could still be Call of Duty Zombies, but you got that extra thing. Or it's a mystery box sort of thing. Master Torres, there are so many of them. What are we going to do? Pulls out a lightsaber. Exactly. Using the Force even to blow him back. I mean, because it's Star Wars, we can make some cool crossovers that you won't ever get in Call of Duty Zombies. So I actually downloaded that template, and I'm looking at it right now, and I like it, but here's why I was kind of hesitant why it won't work. It's not designed for holding two hands. It's a one-handed template, and from what it looks like to me, that's the way it's been done. So I'll show it to you. So here I am. Actually, this is a full screen. This is their template. Yeah, you can see it says F to unsheath in the sheath. So there's F. I've pulled out my sword. Really good for a fantasy game. And then I've got the shield there. Looks like it's sprinting, all that kind of stuff. Right mouse button is block, just as you'd expect. Very nice. I love that. And then left mouse button is attack. And I can attack. It looks like I could even bash while blocking. X while blocking will simulate taking a hit. Okay, cool. Attack while holding movement directions to execute different attacks. Okay, so it looks like if I'm going left, I can swing left. Go right, I can do that. Going forward, I do the chop. Going backwards, I do the stab. Yeah, it's just like the very much like the Elder Scrolls almost. Very cool. But I don't know if that looks like a lightsaber. We literally can't see your screen. You literally can't see my screen? When was that? That's from a minute ago. Can you guys see my screen now? Or can you guys see my screen or no? Elsa can. Okay. You all can. And Michael says, okay, cool. Gotcha. All right. Thanks for being on camera, by the way, Michael and Tristan. Appreciate it. When I can see it moves 1 frame per second. If I can't, moves normally, but it's blurred. Oh, so angry. What you can do is, I think the live stream on YouTube is better quality, so you can always check out that. Okay. Stay the Google Meet. You know, keep it in a little corner. But if you want to like watch what I'm doing on screen, you can do the YouTube live stream. Mister, I'm here. Please don't mark me absent again. My Wi-Fi is doo-doo. Okay. All right. Noted. All right. So, what do you guys think? Even though it's one-handed, should we have a lightsaber implemented in the game, or should it just be blasters all the way through?
Yeah, both of them. I think lightsabers should be like unlockable at like the very end.
Unlockable, like at the end.
Yeah, like if you get like a certain amount of points or like you did like some secret.
So, but the question is, do we use that template, so to speak? All right, I've just launched a poll. Everyone can see who votes to lightsaber or not to lightsaber. That is the question. Yeah, guys, that's a great point Daniel makes. The esports club is after this class. Actually, the esports club is at 2. It's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So join that. It is awesome. I hear great things. Where's the Mandalorian? LO, it's just a Minecraft picture. Okay, let me fix that. Better. For code, Jose gave us a link. Oh, thank you, Jose. Yeah, Jose just dropped the esports link for those who want to join the esports club. If you do, tell Mr. Rosen, Mr. Torres sent you there. All right, make a lightsaber the ray gun of the game. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. My only concern is we use this template for it. It's going to be a one-handed lightsaber, but I love this template. So I'm kind of like, can we do a one-handed lightsaber? Will it be justified if we have like a lightsaber shield, like a saber shield or something? I don't know. All right, let's check the polls. Everybody said lightsaber. All right, I hear you loud and clear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna migrate this stuff, this folder, over to our actual project. So, asset or right-click, migrate, hit OK, and you go to the content folder of the project you want to send things to. Unreal Project, Star Wars, no, Fallen Republic. That's what our game is called. Period 7 Fallen Republic. Content, hit select folder. It's going to migrate everything over. And then I'll close out this project. Cool. And yeah, so we could implement that now, or we can implement other stuff. Oh, you know what I want to do real quick? One of you sent me, I'll say who in a second, a texture to use for this game. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, Jonathan, this is because of you. You sent me a texture. I'm going to download that texture. He looked up, actually, I think you stitched together. Yeah, he combined multiple star textures together, and so that we can have a less ugly, more realistic sky. So let's take a look. We'll try to implement Jonathan's texture. So again, thank you for sending me that. All right, so they underestimate my power. I'm not on a Chromebook, so I don't know how they can block my access. They underestimate my power. All right, import, and I'm importing Jonathan's texture, and so this is the star texture he came up with. Uh-oh, Jonathan, 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels. That's not power of 2. That's okay though. We'll deal with it right now. But remember, for performance purposes, 2048, or if it has to be by 1,000, you would want to do this as 1,024 by 1,024. It looks already way better of a texture than the one we're currently using, so I have a feeling it's gonna look way better. So let's try that. So I've got this texture that Jonathan gave us. We're going to change it over, and that's a new texture. And now let's see if that actually works. Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a little bit of a secret real quick. Another thing to make it better. It's gonna compile in a second. Okay. It does look better. It looks brighter, but they're too wide and stuff. But I'll fix it. So what we'll do is UVs means the position of the texture is on the object, and normally it's just whatever the default UVs are. But we can actually manipulate that outside of this. So we're gonna do text coordinate is the node, texture coordinate, and normally you just plug that right in, and then you can say, oh, I want the texture coordinate to be UV this, UV that. We'll leave that there, but I want to multiply it by a parameter, also known as a variable, that then I can mess around with. So I'll just say this tiling amount. Okay, set it to a default value of 1, plug that in, give this a little second, wait. Daniel says, I remember factory resetting my laptop in 8th grade so they don't spy on my Jedi business. What's Jedi business? Do you sell, like, lightsaber crystals to other Jedi? Like, what's a Jedi business? It's a business centered only at Jedi? Does that mean there's such thing as Sith businesses? Do you need a business license for that? I don't know how galactic law works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this. Okay, let's make sure I'm using the stars instance. All right, good. I think I am. But now this parameter I made called tiling amount is available there. So yeah, I am using stars instance. So if I change tiling amount, it's going to change how big or small that texture is wrapped around our sky sphere. So watch. Let's pull back so we get some context, so we can kind of like look at it like that. Our scene. That does look really cool. So what we'll do is now we'll change the tiling amount to something bigger or lower, and see how that changes the stars around. And if I go really small, Bam. Boo. Do-do-do-do, right? It's totally the beginning of Star Wars. So that looks incredible. So yes, we've improved. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Oh, it's great. Okay, good. All right, I'm happy about that. So nicely done. And thank you again, Jonathan, for sending me that. Now and if it's too bright, we can take the brightness out too. Remember, I made a parameter on here for the brightness. It might be a little bit too bright, potentially. I don't know. So let's see. We've got this really cool environment. We're working on our little dome here. We could today focus on one of a couple things. I could try and implement. All right, ready for this? I could implement the sword template that I just brought into the project. I could implement that so it works with our game, our character, and you kill people by hitting them with the sword. That's option one. Option two is we actually develop out more of the environment. We got to, right now we're just in this little area here, and we don't really have anywhere to run around it. There's nothing really interesting to go. We want it to be the inside of the Death Star, that kind of thing. So that's two, environmental design. And then the third option is systems development, systems on getting the NPCs to spawn, to try and to actually kill the player when they get too close, getting the player to react, HUDs, that kind of thing. So implement the sword template as a lightsaber, do environmental design, or implement systems. I'm going to make a poll out of that, and you're going to vote, and we'll do whatever you guys vote on. So, new poll. Should we work on? Option one is integrate sword template into our game and as a lightsaber. Option two is environmental design and design of the level. And number three is systems design. Spawning, enemy, killing player, etc. All right, we can only do one of them. The votes are now live. Go ahead and vote on that poll. And as you do that, I'm going to read what you guys have put down here. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So we're all voting on that. While you do that, I'm going to comment my code, something all of you should do, right? So you drag around here, you press the C key, and then you can write comments, little notes to yourself and to the other people you're developing with, what you're doing. So I'm going to put this as fire weapon / blaster line trace. And now from afar, I know what this code is all about. And then I can even organize it spatially, move it over here. That's where my line trace stuff goes. How about this? This one's begin play. So begin play. Not only that, you can color code your comments. So I might do something like that. All right. This is the fire weapon stuff. Might as well put that over here. We'll set that to a color as well. All right. Let's see what our poll is at. Polls say that today we shall... Oh, it's very close. Very tight polls. So 7 of you say we should integrate the sword template into our game as a lightsaber. 5 of you say environmental design and design the level. And 6 of you say system design, spawning enemy, killing players. So if you haven't voted, please vote so that... I got to find my old USB containing lightsabers and lightsaber text and blocking. Yeah, Daniel, you should put it in a drive link. We'll bring it into the game. And we got a few modelers in here who can model us stuff too as well. Could be good. We can get some modeled lightsabers. I'm gonna give it another minute, guys, to vote. Please vote if you haven't, because everybody seems to be very close. It's definitely not gonna be environmental design, I don't think, because we're at 5 votes there. But lightsaber got 7 votes. Systems design got 8 votes. So now environmental design has 6 votes. And now lightsaber and system design are tied. And now environmental design is coming up to 7. Oh, you people. It's a total tiebreaker. I don't know, man. I never saw that three options could be so close. We have 8, 7, and 8. And now it's exactly at 8. You guys are ridiculous. All right, so we have 8 votes to 8 votes to 8 votes. So what on earth am I supposed to do? Well, feel free to keep voting. Let me take a look at how hard it would be to implement that first-person thing as like a potential lightsaber. I'm gonna open up. They have their own character, so we'll open up their character and just see. Okay, so they got a little bit of code here. Oh, and their input actions didn't get migrated over, which we would have to go do. Make a wheel. Why is this more entertaining than most things? Someone vote lightsaber. I could take the lightsaber. I could set its material to a lightsaber material, so at least it's sort of working. I'll do that. So there's something here. So whenever you get like a template like this, where you see that it says warning, right, on these input actions, what that means is that in your project settings, where you can make these things called input actions, they're like, they're basically something that you name, and it's tied to a particular keyboard key, mouse thing, controller this, touch, signature, anything like that. Wow, the poll is still 8 to 8 to 8. So what we'll do is we can actually import from that other project that has the correct input mappings. We can import those, and then these will actually fix up, because we won't be able to do the swing attack or any of that. So let's just do that real quick. So I gotta go find that actual. I have to open up that template again. So open up sword and shield, first person. Okay, now sword and lightsaber has 9 votes. Environmental design has 9 votes, and system design has 8 votes. So that's still 2 things tied. All right, so now I'm gonna go here, settings, project settings. Not maps and mode, input, and then here you can see this actually has the action and input action mappings and access mappings for things like sheath, attack, right? Those didn't come with the engine. They added those as projects. So what we could do is hit export in the top right here. So actually export a little text file, INI file, just send it to the desktop. Now I can close out of that project. We're coming back into my project, back into our project here. We're going to go to project settings, engine, input, right? And now we're going to hit import, and we're going to go find it on our desktop, and then import it. Bam. And now it's added attack. It's added, it has all those settings there. Now if you go back here and hit compile, errors go away, and you'll be able to use the sword, right? So what I'm going to do is, and you can delete the INI file that's on your desktop at this point as well, wherever it is. I'll delete it later or something. Oh, here it is. Delete. So yeah, now that'll work. So let's look at our guy. See, I kind of made it a lightsaber. I think we need to change the static mesh on this, don't we? So there's actually a skeletal mesh. That's interesting. So it's a skeletal mesh, but is it animated? Can it be animated? No, it can't be animated. So in fact, there's probably one bone on it. Yeah, exactly. So now we're in this tricky situation. We're like, well, oh no, how do I need a skeletal mesh out of this. How do I do that? So you can make a skeletal mesh out of a static mesh. I have a lightsaber mesh in here, I believe, right? Yeah, that I made. So let's try that. So I got this lightsaber mesh here. It's not as good as some of the ones that I know you guys can design, but I made it in a very quick amount of time. So let's see if I can create this into a skeletal mesh. Right click, asset actions. Because I've done it with like clothing data that need to be skeletal. So I believe, all right, this is when we consult Google. right here, live in class. What we're gonna do, UE4, convert static mesh. Look, it already comes up. Boop, boop, boop. See, I want to do this in the engine. I don't want to go out into Blender or something. You know, I want to do it in the engine. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a bone. It just needs to be a skeletal mesh that works with the template. You convert a solid within the editor by exporting your static mesh as FBX and re-importing the FBX as a skeletal mesh and creating a new skeleton. That's so funny. Yeah, okay, now I remember that actually. All right, so here we do. Right click, asset actions, export. We'll use the desktop again. Onto the desktop, lightsaber, save, doopity-doo, export. All right, time to import it again. Import, we're importing a new object, everybody. It's the same object, but don't tell Unreal that. Desktop, lightsaber, boom, bring it in. This time, we check mark. This is skeleton mesh. We don't even need to set the skeleton. We just hit, yep, it's skeleton mesh, hit import. And in it comes. Now identified as a skeleton mesh, which means we can just replace the SK sword with this. That's the idea. And then it's doing the material stuff for it. Yeah, it's a pretty ugly lightsaber. Somebody, can one of you guys make us a really cool lightsaber? That'd be great. Yeah. It might be good if you do make it. If someone makes it in this class, Lewis or whoever, or anybody who does 3D modeling stuff, what we could do is if we have it in two separate pieces, like the hilt and then the blade itself is its own thing, that'd be great because then we can program it to come out and turn on and go back in kind of thing. Although even if it is one piece, we could use a material to create that illusion on the blade part. But anyway, this case, let's see if I can give it the same skeleton as the sword. Okay, oh, maybe we don't need to. Can we just name it? I like to try and maybe make it so that the names of the bones are exactly the same, if possible. I'm gonna right click, asset actions. No, actually skeleton, sign skeleton, sword skeleton. Maybe this works. No, it says it's. No, let's not do that. Let's just see if we can replace it. So, the material looks horrible, so let's fix that real quick. All right, and the rest we don't care about for right now. Now, can I switch out this skeletal mesh from the one in the template? So we're going here. I'm going to say, hey, use this one instead. Think it's okay? Maybe. Let's drag out this character into our level and play as him. Even though we have a different character, we're going to bring out this first-person character. He looks like just a sword and shield. This would be really cool. Again, Call of Duty style in multiplayer, where like it's up to 4 players and you're blasting, but your friend gets the sword from the mystery box or something, and they're just killing people like crazy. It could be really cool. So let's say disabled player 0. That means that I'm gonna play as him. Let's look at let's make sure that our third-person character isn't stealing the possession. It is right now. Okay, now I'm gonna hit play. See if we can move the sword around. I gotta unsheath this by pressing F. Whoa! Yeah. Now it's not gonna do anything to these guys yet, but that's the next thing we're gonna make happen. Well, let's try and make it happen right now. So I'm gonna do this next part of coding on that character. If need be, I'll just migrate the code we made onto this character or whatever. Possibly, I don't know. But let's get this working. Also, the hilt is like the wrong color, so let's just do that's what I want there, and then tech panel. I want to look at all sci-fi-ish. Okay. It's compiling, I think. Anyway. What we could do. Oh, I never made. Oh, that's funny. I made this in emissive color, but I like hard coded it in. Okay. I was just going to make it look a little better, but I don't care about that. Let's get it to kill people. So what we're going to do, there's a couple ways you could do this. What I like to do is this. I'm going to socket like a capsule to this sword, and if that capsule hits anything, we trigger an event. So I click on the sword. All right, Kasai, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to hit add component. I'm going to type in collision. Let's do capsule collision. Box collision will work too. And since it's a child of sword, it's going to follow all of us. All right, guys, just because one person left doesn't mean that everyone else is leaving. You're going to stay here for at least the next 5 minutes because we're going to get this working, all right? All right, so let's get this on here. Let's narrow it down. Good, looking good. We want it to be as long as the rest of it, so that would be what's called, I think, the half height. Okay, I'm bringing that down into a little bit too tall, maybe 80. Perfect. So I've got this like capsule collision that's going to sense if it happens to hit anybody. And it's going to follow wherever this thing's animated because it's a child of it. So wherever it goes, it will surely go. So capsule, scroll down to the bottom, and we can do on component hit, on component overlap. I'm going to do overlap since lightsabers can kind of like overlap things, right? So that's kind of what we're going to expect for this mesh. It's an overlapping mesh. We got to make sure that overlap events are enabled. Yes, they are enabled. Cool. On component begin overlap, we're going to cast to, do we name it enemy or zombie? Come on, because I think, yeah, cast a zombie because it was Call of Duty. But all right, now on our zombie, remember we have a drain health event, don't we? Don't we? Let's look at our enemies and find out what the event is for hurting them. Yeah, check if enemy can die, and that's preceded by damage enemy. That's the event we're looking. So if the sword happens to hit them, damage enemy. And right now the enemies all die at 1 health, right? But really damage enemy for a lightsaber should be like, 10 damage or 20 damage per hit or something. So let's see if this will damage them. I don't know yet. I've never done this before, right? So we'll see. So, all right, unsheathing my thing. Here they come. This guy's first, and bam. Haha, okay, got him. Bam. Bam. All right. Now, we want a little bit more, like, life to it. We want, like, the sparks and stuff. Oh, it's not blurry anymore? Good. We want sparks, we want things like that. We want more of an effect. We want the lightsaber to kind of like change its glow about when it's being moved through the air. So definitely something probably we want we want the scene to be less bright. That's for sure. We want sound effects. Okay. Ooh, did I just sheath it again? I didn't mean to do that. So they're definitely killable. We'll work on like the precision and stuff. In fact, in some ways, I don't want to just overlap the zombie because right now when we overlap the zombie, an overlap event gets triggered even if we hit this capsule thing. So if I hit just near him enough, I don't want that. I want to actually have to hit his body for any of that to work. Sometimes with this capsule stuff, like on this one, you might want to turn off overlap for that. And actually, if I turn off overlap, will he still die? Or do I have to enable overlap for the meshes themselves? Yeah, see? So it was only hitting his capsule before. So now I want to tell this guy to generate overlap events. I know cutting through them with the lightsaber would be so cool. We could probably do something. We could do destructible meshes with that. You see, I don't like how I hit towards this guy, but it somehow killed the guy to my left. So there's definitely like accuracy stuff to do, which is why maybe it's better that it would be a two-handed template, but maybe there's a two-handed template out there that I don't know about that we could use. So, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm closing the